8th episode of Cooking Corner with me, Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. Today for you, we're making a French dessert called Clafoutis. In terms of ingredients, you're gonna need the following. You're gonna need some flour. You're gonna need some sugar. You're gonna need some eggs. You're gonna need some milk. You're gonna need some pure vanilla extract. You're gonna need some butter, softened, so take it out an hour in advance. And you're gonna need your berries. I'm using raspberries, but in a traditional clafoutis, you can use cherries, and I've also seen strawberries. Now in terms of hardware, you're gonna need the following. You're gonna need a blender. You're gonna need various measuring cups and spoons. You're gonna need a small rubber spatula, and you're gonna need an oven-safe 10-inch non-stick pan. Step number 1, as always, is gonna be wash your hands and wash your fruit. It's important to wash all of your fruit before consumption, so we're lumping the 2 steps in together. Go ahead, turn the water on, stick your fruit underneath, give it a little rinse-a-roni. Close it back up, give it a little shake. And just like that, your fruit's ready to eat. Now, onto the hands. Go ahead, stick your mitts underneath, get them nice and moist. When you're convinced your hands are nice and wet, squirt some soap on them. 2 squirts is my preference. Then, rub that soap all around on your hands, get in between the fingers, get on the back of the knuckles. Once you convince your hands are nice and soapy, stick them back under the water and wash them off. When you think your hands are clean, turn the water off, dry them off, and your hands are also ready to eat. Moving on to step number 2, and step number 2 is going to be preheat your oven to 400 degrees and use your butter to grease your pan. So go ahead, set your oven to heat to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and while it's doing that, you can take your pan, your rubber spatula, and your softened butter, take a tablespoon of your butter, and use that to grease the pan. Now what you're going to want to do is spread the butter all around in the pan, covering every surface. Make sure to get up on the sides of the pan as well.
It's greasy.
That's what you want. You don't want the clafoutis to stick, do you?
It's already a non-stick pan.
This guy likes his clafoutis sticky.
Sticky, sweet and sour clafoutis.
The sticky, the icky, sticky, sweet and sour clafoutis.
Just how the French intended it.
That's exactly how they make it in 5-star French restaurants. Would you say sour is equivalent to tart?
I would say they're equivalent, yes.
Carol
disagrees.
Carol made a noise.
Tart has a different connotation.
Would you say a raspberry is sour or tart?
You make the same face shape.
Yeah, you do. You're right. Something I hadn't considered. Ready? Now that your pan is all greased, you can get rid of your butter and your rubber spatula and move on to the next step. Moving on to step number 3. Step number 3 is going to be combine all of your ingredients except for your fruit in the blender. You're going to need 1 cup of milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 4 eggs, 3/4 cup of sugar, and 2/3 cup of flour. Once all your ingredients are in the blender, just turn it on and blend until they're combined. let's have a peek, shall we? Looks good. Moving right along to step number 4, it's gonna be the first bake. What do you mean, Giuseppe? We're gonna bake it more than once? That's exactly what we're doing. What you're gonna need to do is take a little more than 1 cup of your mixture and add it to your greased pan. Then you're gonna stick the whole pan in the oven and leave it for 6 minutes. Once the first half of your batter is in your pan and your oven is at 400 degrees, you're ready to stick it in there. So go ahead, grab your pan, open your oven, and stick the whole pan in the oven. Then you're going to time it out for 6 minutes and check it. Timer 1, 6, and now we wait. Now that it's been 6 minutes, go ahead and take your Clafoutis out of the oven and put it on the counter. Ooh! Importantly, when you take your Clafoutis out after the first bake, don't turn your oven off, because guess what? We're going in for a second bake. Moving on to step number 5, and step number 5 is going to be create your berry layer. So, you've got this very hot pan that you're handling with caution, I trust. And what you're going to do is add 2 cups of whatever your berry is on top of this half-baked dough. Batter? Dough?
I think it's more of a batter.
I think it's more of a batter as well. That's why we're going to reshoot that. You're going to take 2 cups of whatever berry you have and layer them on top of your batter. Now, 2 cups may seem like a lot. You're going to have to squeeze them in there, but get all 2 cups of your berries onto that batter. Bring it in for a close-up. Now that you've got your berry layer assembled, it's time to move on to step number 6.
I don't think this is a separate step.
Moving on to step number 6, and step number 6 is going to be add your second layer of batter. You want to say bake number 2 or add your second layer of batter? Because when we have the second layer, some of the berries are going to float up and we have to push them down. It's going to be great for a close-up.
Okay. 3, 2, it's almost like it's one step. 3, 2, 1, action.
Yeah, do that, Jen.
I did.
We should do bake number 2. You want to do that?
No, bake number 2 is its own thing, but I think the berries and the pouring can be one step. But it doesn't matter.
We do continue with step number 5 then.
Okay.
Continuing with step number 5, the next part of step number 5 is going to be to take the rest of your batter and drizzle it over your berries. You're going to want to make sure you completely cover all of your berries. If some of them are sticking up, you got to smother them down underneath the batter. All right? Let's do that. You do this because you don't want the tops of the berries to burn. Moving on to step number 6, and step number 6 is going to be the second bake. So, now that you've got your fully assembled Clafoutis, what you're going to do is take the pan and stick it back in the 400 degree oven for 40 minutes. Now, you're going to check this at 35 minutes and make sure it's not overcooking because all ovens and all pans are different. So So go ahead, time it out for 35 minutes, and then we'll check it. It's been 35 minutes since we started the second bake. Let's check on our clafoutis and decide whether or not to take it out. That is looking done to me. Let's get it out of the oven and move on to the next step. Moving right along to the final step, and the final step is going to be plating. Now, because I used a non-stick pan, I'm going to use a plastic knife to cut my clafoutis. So, be careful because it's still hot. Grab your pan, start in the center of your clafoutis, and cut out a triangle, kind of like a slice of pie. Go ahead, start at the center or close to it, and cut out. Once you've got your slice of clafoutis on the plate, you can top it with a little bit of powdered sugar. And then you're ready to eat. That is delicious! That concludes this week's episode of Cooking Corner with me, Giuseppe CrimiVaroli. I hope you enjoyed the episode and the food we made on it. If you like videos like this, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video in particular, leave a like on it. If you want to see more content like this, turn the notification bell on and get notified when I put out new videos. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now. Have fun out there, and bye-bye now.
That's fun up there.
What the fuck was that?